Well, hello there. This is Mr. Roden. Thanks for coming today. And I just want to take you through my open house PowerPoint. Sorry for the hitting all the different things here. So let's go from the beginning. So this is a picture of me that I took at my desk recently. Excited to start distance learning or remote learning with your student. So thanks for coming today. And hopefully this is informational of kind of how to understand my class and how your student can be successful in my math class. So let's take a look at some things and just talk about some different areas that can maybe be helpful to you as a parent. All right. First of all, I'd just like to say that I've been here at Jenkins since 2001, so I've been here a long time. And Jaguars are awesome. I love Jenkins; it's a great place. I've had opportunities to go, but I never could take them because I just feel like Jenkins is home to me. So when your students in my class, they are in a place that I'm excited for them to be, and I'm biased. I think Jenkins is the best place around. There's no better place than being here at Jenkins. So Jaguars are awesome, and so we're glad to have everyone in our class because we know it's just a great place to be. All right, so in math, you might be wondering, well, what are they going to learn this year? Well, if they're in regular 8th grade math, which they are in this class, we're going to cover a variety of topics. But the big ones are going to be exponents, geometry, ratios and proportions, and some algebra. And the heavy emphasis is going to be on algebra. And the topics in algebra that we're going to really be working on this year are variable expressions, functions, and solving and graphing linear equations. So if you remember back to your days in high school and middle school, maybe those are some things you can help your student with. If not, if those things are kind of scary to you also, that's all right. We'll be there to support and help. So just let them know that your student know that we are here for them. And if things get tough on those topics right there, we'll get them through it and we'll help them. Basic skills are really important in our class. We find that sometimes that it's not the things that we're teaching that are hard for the kids. It's just the basic skills that we expect them to know, like fractions. Oftentimes kids are fractionophobic. They're scared of fractions. So we want them to be strong in their fractions. Their decimals, operations with decimals, integers, negative and positive numbers, and multiplication facts. They're all important, and we're going to practice them on a regular basis because, as the saying goes, practice makes perfect. So we'll definitely be working on those skills as well this year. What's a typical class period like? Well, the first thing we always do is, you're probably hearing this from a lot of other teachers, good things. Okay, we always start out with the thing. We always ask the class some good things. Good things are really good things. We like to hear good news. I think in our world today, we hear enough bad news. Let's hear some good news. Let's start off the class with a good thing. And kids really get into it. We hear some great things, and it's always just it just puts you in a good space when you're saying, hey, let's hear some good things from your students. And even if, that your day is kind of going long or something, not having the greatest day, when you start hearing those good things from your class, it's just inspirational and it just gets you ready to go. And you're like, you know what, today's going to be a great day. We go over the agenda for the day, just like to make sure the kids understand what we're going to try to cover. And then I try to do a hook. Sometimes a hook is a story or just a funny thing, or just I start to get them thinking about a topic, maybe a kind of a puzzle, or just something to start them thinking about the topic that we're going to cover for the day. And then we're going to clearly state the learning topic for that day. I will be able to, graph a linear equation, or I will be able to divide exponents, or anything like that. We're going to explicitly tell them what they're going to learn that day. And then we're going to do a lesson with lots of examples and question and student involvement. Just because we're remote learning doesn't mean that students just can sit back and do nothing, we're going to call on them. We can see, we make checklists here. We call on students and we expect them to be on top of it, unmute, answer questions, show us things on the screen. So there's lots of things that the students can do to stay engaged and involved. Just because we're learning remotely doesn't mean that it's passive and they can just sit back and listen the whole time. They've got to be involved, and the lesson is going to be expecting them to kind of be on their toes and asking questions and kind of getting that understanding going. Also, what did we learn today? That's the end of the class. What did we learn? We go through and we say, a good day is a day that you become a little smarter, in my opinion. You don't have to learn everything in one day, but you should learn something. Every class, I tell the kids, you should expect, and you should expect me to teach you something, or to learn something new each day from my class. So at the end of the day, what did we learn? What do you know now that you didn't know at the beginning of this class? And that's really cool to hear kids say, hey, I know how to do this now. And that, before when they came in, they didn't know how to do it. When they came out, they did. And that's what school is all about right there. And then a launch is just kind of an inspirational story or a saying or just something to get them going and, to the next class. Like, go out and take this day on, and a little bit inspirational there at the launch. So good things in launch are kind of positive ways to begin and end the class. All right, Schoology Page. What are some things on Schoology that are really important that can help your student be successful? Well, there's a lot of things, but there's a couple things on my Schoology page that I think that can really help them. First of all, the homework bucket. I kind of came up with that. Homework bucket is just where I put all the homework in. So it's just an easy, quick, one-stop shopping area for your homework. So I just say, hey, students, go to your homework bucket. Make sure any homework assignment that's been assigned in there is done, and make sure that it is done well. And the grade, a lot of times the Schoology are going to be little kind of almost like mini homework quizzes. Make sure you do well on them. And if you can do another attempt to get better, do the other attempt to try to get your grade up. If you missed class or you weren't able to get some notes because what happened, maybe you got logged off on your computer, or something happened, or you didn't quite get something down in your notes, you can always go back and watch the recorded lessons. There's a folder in their class that they can click on, and every class is completely recorded. So the lessons, everything that I talk about is nice. It's all recorded. So you can even have them show you the lesson if you would like to learn some math. Anything like that would be great. There's also important links to their book. And then we also have a YouTube channel here, Jenkins 8th Grade Math, and they can go into the resources to the YouTube channel. So those links are on the Schoology page as well. All right. How do you be successful in my class in math, especially with this remote learning that we're having? Well, the first thing is attend live lessons as much as you possibly can. Be there. Part of being successful is just showing up. And that means showing up to live lessons on time and being ready to go. So if at all possible, come to the live lessons, because that's where the major interaction is going to be. And that's where the beginning of learning starts. Be ready to be called on. Have your student be ready. Don't just expect, like I said earlier, you're going to sit back and just watch it. Be ready, because I'm going to be asking kids a lot of questions and shooting questions out there, and just have your student ready and engaged in the lesson at all times. Again, check the homework bucket. We talked about that earlier. Study for assessments using the practice test. Before an assessment, we always give you the students warning, and we give them a practice test that's very similar to the regular test. So if your student knows that there's a test coming up, they should have a practice test at least probably a week in advance, and that practice test is going to really help them get ready for the actual test that's worth 75% of their grade. So those assessments are a big part of their grade. And then if you're not sure what to do on an assignment and you need help, go visit your teacher. Go visit me on their WebEx, on WebEx after JAG time. So after JAG time is like an open office hours for all teachers. I'll be available on my WebEx page. Feel free to come on in and we'll go over some problems or take questions that you have personally that your student has. And I'll be more than willing or excited to talk to them and help them with anything they need on tutoring or anything like that. And if you need to contact me, 2 great ways to contact me are email, gregory.roden@d11.org, or my phone number is 719-328-4787. The phone, you might have to leave a message just because I may be teaching a class at the time or maybe in a meeting, but I'll get back with you as soon as possible. Email is also a great way. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to check out my class. And if you, I'd love to hear from you. So feel free, obviously, to contact me if you have any further questions. Have a great night. We'll see you later. Bye.